Courtney, do us a favor and shut up. And Marissa, why would you let Adam leave that house looking like that? Married at First Sight, season 20, episode 7, got on my nerves a little bit, okay, if you can't already tell. It started off smooth. We at Adam and Marissa's house. He's making grilled cheese. She's sitting on the counter drinking her wine and looking cute like he told her to do. She mentioned something about hibachi, and he was like, oh, so you like catching things with your mouth? I was like, Adam, you know exactly what Marissa like to do with her mouth, honey. I can tell. You might not kiss and tell, but I can tell. So they get on the topic of would they have dated if they met in college? And Marissa was like, I don't know. If we did date in college, do you think we would be married now? And he was like, yeah. And she kind of like, yeah, whatever. And he was like, no, I've been looking for the girl of my dreams to give her the world since I was 18. I was like, ooh, that's kind of young. But she thought it was cute. So, she told him that he is emotionally mature, but not mentally mature. I didn't even know you could be one without the other, but I guess he said there was relationship after relationship for a while, and then he was single, and he didn't like that very much. He didn't like being single. I wouldn't get that. I don't get that from him. He, with the house on the lake and the ultimate bachelor pad and the jet skis, I thought he was, just the single type, the vibing type. For me, that means the single type, but I don't know. I've been at the game for a long time. I ain't going back in it. Um, he pours her some more wine, and he was like, do you think me not drinking is going to be a problem for us? And she was like, no, I think it'd actually be good for me. And I do too. Like, sometimes we don't realize how much alcohol we take in because we're used to doing it every weekend. We go meet up for drinks. We go to brunch. It's a lot of alcohol intake, and a lot of people don't know alcohol is just poison. Now, I still drink. I'm just saying. Sometimes we just need to, maybe hang with some more sober people. And that's okay. So Marissa says that she asked him if he thinks that because they're in the honeymoon phase that they're not being completely transparent and open. And he was like, no, I am. I think Marissa asked that question because she is the one that's kind of been holding it back as far as her needs and wants. She's just going with the flow because she doesn't want to interrupt the vibe. But that's just me. So everybody's getting ready for dinner. We stopping by everybody's house. Everybody's looking good with the exception of Adam. Everybody's getting ready and they're doing coupley things, watching each other get dressed. It's cute. We stop over at Tori and Felipe's house, and Tori lets us know that she had anxiety after they did the do, and she's an avoidant. She runs. That's what she does when she's feeling vulnerable. And so she knew this process was going to be hard for her, excuse me. But she's working through it. Now, they kind of skimmed past what Felipe was feeling. I didn't like that because I wanted to know what he felt like when he woke up the next morning alone after he had them put in his best work and stuff. Becca, we get over to Becca's house, and Mecca is swearing that he's been doing the most, showing more affection, or the most affection, and initiating all the kisses. I said, baby, when Belle Jolie said she was falling back, she was not playing. He was like, yeah, I wonder if it's about that conversation that we had. You know exactly what it was about. And you're going to learn to watch that mouth. Because she don't play. She fell back. Nick and Courtney, not Nick walking past the mirror and distracting himself. Nick walked past the mirror and was like, oh, damn, he fine. Yeah, he stopped the mid-conversation. So he asked her about past relationships and physical touch because he can't figure this thing out. Like, you don't want to be touched at all. Why did you get married? And she was kind of like skittish about it at first, but she ended up telling him that, her first boyfriend, her first love, she wanted that man bad and she wanted to be in his skin. And he didn't like her like that. So he ended up kind of crushing her in her feelings. And she decided from then on that she was going to let that happen again. And in order to do that, she had to keep her distance and not let anybody get too close to her. So in my dictionary, this is the definition of one man paying for another man's mistakes. She did open up, and I can see it was so uncomfortable for her. It was so uncomfortable for her that she started burning her hair. She was curling her hair while he was asking her, and honey, the baby almost burnt her hair out. So I get it, but it's something for Nick to work with. We get to the dinner, and the experts are listening and watching on a monitor. Everybody's arriving. I don't know why Marissa let Adam out that house like that. I get going with the vibes and going, but why do you even own this? When did you purchase this? And do you have a receipt? Because we need to take this back. Like, I'm with letting people be who they are and stuff, but that was unacceptable. He looked like somebody from the Brady Bunch. And yeah, it was fun and stuff, but no, we're not doing that. Dr. Lisa, she felt like he wasn't taking it serious because of what he had on. And what's his name? Paul Brunson was like, he feels like he's trying to take control or trying to make a statement. That's what he said at first. He said he was trying to make a statement. He's just sitting there talking about the jet ski and what kind of bird feathers are on his hat and just doing the most. So Paul said that Adam aims to take control by any means necessary, even if that means showing up looking a fool so that people can try to figure out what's going on so he could take the lead. But Dr. Lisa calls it posturing. Here is what I have. Here's what I do. Here's who I am. These are my toys. Why is she moving? These are my toys. This is my outfit. So I'm leaning towards Dr. Lisa. I guess both of them are right. He's posturing so that he can take control. I get it. Anyway, everybody looks good except Adam. Courtney and Nick walk in holding hands up until they got in front of everybody. As soon as she saw people, she wouldn't let their hand go. It's progress, so we'll take it. At least she let him touch her hand. Girl, Nikki walks in and he giving runway. Nikki was giving runway, but she walks in alone. And of course, they cut to commercial and left us hanging for 30 seconds because everybody was gay. Like, oh, where is Sean? But Nikki looked good. Nikki is a good 48. I'm probably going to end up saying that every time. Nikki ain't 48. Nikki 46. Nikki is a good 46. After the 30-second commercial break, Nikki lets them know that Sean had a work thing. The experts clocked it real quick. They was like, it's giving, they had another conflict and he didn't want to come with her and he may not even come at all. So apparently Nikki and Sean went on a double date with Belle and Mecca the night before, and as usual, Nikki and Sean had a conflict because they can't go 2 seconds without one. The experts were spot on, and they didn't miss a beat. They knew exactly what was going on with them. Nikki, I forgot who she was talking to, but she was telling somebody that she feels like they're in this pattern of conflict, and she's absolutely correct. But you have to play your part in breaking that pattern. If it's happening every day, it's a pattern. It's not that you feel like it's a pattern. It is a pattern. So here comes Sean. He coming in, looking dapper, got his little suit on or whatever, and he greets everybody in the room except his wife. Sean, it was so loud in there, I got overstimulated. I couldn't listen to all the individual conversations. Peacock, we're going to have to work on isolating the mics. I think that's what it's called. I've never done that job, but I know that I've seen other reality shows where there are a group of people and you can hear what one person's saying at a time. Y'all got to fix that because, honey, I was overstimulated. I started to fast forward. But what I did hear was Sean say that when he tries to offer his perspective, Nikki instantly takes it as anti-her perspective. And it's not always that. Like, just because somebody doesn't adopt your perspective doesn't mean you're wrong or they don't like your perspective. They just have a different one, and that's okay. At 46, baby, we should know this. But, Sean be lying, child. I don't even know if that's what happened for real. So everybody's at the table, and Tori somewhat leads them in prayer. I don't know what was going on there. So Felipe asked Marissa and Adam how they're doing. And Adam said they're vibing. And Marissa was like, this is the best thing I could have ever asked for. And they sealed it with a kiss. It was cute. So Courtney was like, well, what you like about him besides the fact that he's fun and he's funny? And he wears weird outfits. Courtney, shut up. Marissa was like, yeah, he's fun and funny out in the world, but behind the closed doors, he's sweet and he's genuine. Then Felipe and Courtney started to grill her. And I'm like, Felipe, shut up. Courtney, be quiet. I mean, it was just like, so what do you like about him? Nick was like, so on decision day, y'all just gonna vibe your way through it? Oh, he said that after Adam was like, Life's too short. So if you ain't vibing, what you doing? I don't think they like how like they're laid back and not having any problems, or at least not telling anybody about their problems. In confessional, though, Nick standing outside next to his wife talking to the camera, and Nick said he thought he was going to hear that, Adam was thoughtful. And Courtney, before he can get the rest of his thought out, Courtney completes his thought with, he might not have to be thoughtful because he's the hottest one in the whole group. Whew. Nick said, wow, wild comment. And it was, because what is wrong with you? Oh, God. Nick's flabbers were gasted, and rightfully so. Then she tried to fix it and was like, well, you're still the hottest because you're my husband. No, you said what you meant, and you meant what you said, and you being meaning it and being thinking about it, which is wild. So, she tried to fix it. She was like, oh, he told her what she said, and she was like, are you serious? Oh, God, I dug myself in the hole with that one. I said, Nick, push her ass in that hole and keep on walking. Leave. It was fine, in my opinion, for her to say he was an attractive man. It was unnecessary. It was fine for her to say it, but she said he was the most attractive in the whole group. That includes your actual husband. Back at the table, Courtney is telling everyone that she's not a lover and she's not affectionate. She said that's not where she comes from. And again, she's still hung up on that first relationship. She says she needs more time, and it may feel platonic to not Adam, Nick, but that's what she needs. I don't feel like you don't want to be touched. You don't want to be. What do you want with a husband? Then she tells them the story about how when they were on the honeymoon, he was kind of cuddling and holding her, and she was just laying there stiff, waiting on 6 o'clock so she can get the F out of there. Why do we have to say it like that? See, that's what they mean when they say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. She could have simply said he was holding me and I wasn't yet comfortable with him doing that, so I was just laying there stiffly because I was uncomfortable. That's all. That you didn't have to put all that 20 on 10. They didn't need that. So Felipe, messy ass, was like, oh, well, how does it feel to be rejected by your wife? Nah, Felipe, tell them people how your wife rejected you by leaving you in that bed by yourself after you did your best work. Since we want to have a conversation. Put that out there while you asking all these questions. I feel like you asking all these questions because you don't want your situation to come up. And did y'all see Adam and Marissa laughing about it? And Courtney was like, no, don't laugh, while she's actively laughing. I was like, y'all, but you know what? Nick handled himself. He said he don't feel rejected. She explained it, and he understands it. He said the thing that he likes about her is that she cares for people. And I still feel like Nick kind of grasping for straws because he still want to be on the show. Because what? Just leave. Child, that humidity, this is just a side note, y'all. That humidity be knocking the hell out of Beljo-Lee, honey. And I understand it. I can do a silk press at 1 o'clock and walk out the door. At 1 o'clock in 29 seconds, I will have a full-blown afro. It never fails. I don't even do it no more if I got to go outside. Sean puts his 2 cents in, and it kind of makes sense. He was like, listen, he was telling Courtney, listen, you're an athlete. You have to train for that. So you need to train for this as well. I was like, oh, okay then. Look at him. He got a little bit of sense in there. Felipe tells Nick that he thinks Nick's comfortable with himself, and here go diarrhea of the mouth Courtney. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think he is comfortable with who he is. And everybody looking at her like, what? And she was like, yeah, I think the men aren't as confident as the women are. Courtney, you the most insecure, think of the word, you the most insecure person on the whole show. And I don't even think you know that. She was like, they're not being vulnerable. So Mecca steps up. And mind you, these people had a little drink or two. Mecca steps in, and he starts off beautifully, talking about how Beljo-Lee makes him feel. She makes him feel comfortable, like he can tell her anything. And then he says, and I get aroused by that. Well, why she can't get none? Because she been trying. She been trying since day 2 of the honeymoon, like giving you the green light. What's going on? Belle wanted to clear the air. She was like, hold on, let's be clear. Nothing has happened. Like, she done gave him the green light, the yellow light, the flags. She done gave him everything. He will not do it. He won't initiate it. I think if she initiates it, then maybe it'll happen. But she's waiting on him because, he was the one with the attraction problem. So she brings up the attraction problem, and she tells them about that he's 60% attracted to her and she's 80% attracted to him, according to him. And Adam was like, so you friend zoned her, basically. Besides that, everybody else was speechless, because why would you even bring that up? Everybody knew that was a bad idea. When the conversation resumes, she said it messed her up because after he said it, he immediately started showing more affection. Devin was like, so you got what you wished for, and now you backpedaling. I was like, okay, Devin. So Nikki was over there whispering to Sean, and while everybody talking about Belle Jolie's situation, she whispering to Sean, she's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to speak on this relationship without embarrassing you. I said, now either she was lying or she just couldn't figure it out. That is not what happened. Courtney said she told Nick from the jump that Michelle was going to be picky and it was going to be hard to match her with anybody. I feel like Michelle and Cam just kind of stay on the side. And they don't have a lot. They don't give a lot. It's just, they didn't come on talking about the problems and when they're going to have kids and him living in another state. They just was like, yeah, we're good. That's all they gave him. And then Felipe brings up how Cam has never been in a relationship. Like, he's never really had a girlfriend. And they were just like, yeah, we're working through that. That's all. They are giving the politician answers. Devin said he came in canniballing into a frozen lake. I said, dang, that was perfect. That was perfect. I like that. And Caitlin was like, hold on, hear him out. Wait a minute. listen to what he got to say. He said he acknowledges that he came in aggressive. He came in hard. He wanted to pretend like they've known each other for 20 years. And after meeting with Dr. Lisa, he realized that the relationship wasn't just about him and what he wanted. So they're doing so much better. I love that for them. They must be paying Felipe to interview people, because when I tell you he's on here conducting full-blown interviews. So Caitlin says she's feeling more comfortable in giving compliments to Devin and receiving compliments from Devin. So, her black cat energy is settling aside, and I like that for them. Felipe did a short little speech, and then Tori tells people that she initiated doing the do. Felipe wasn't going to bring that up. He ain't everybody's business, but he wasn't going to bring it up. And then she told them that she ran away. She told them that it was too fast for her and they needed to slow down. How you going to She told them that she initiated it and then was like, And see, that gives off, it was terrible. That's she kept, it had nothing to do with the act itself. I don't know, Tori. I don't know if I believe that. I really don't. I can see, you saying, let's slow down. Maybe we need to learn each other's bodies more before we go this far, because, that didn't settle with me. But the fact that you got up and went into the next room is giving, what have I gotten myself into? Anyway, he made sure to let everybody know, well, she said it was great. When Belle Jolie asked about their fears, Felipe said, he's very passionate about Tori right now, but he's afraid that passion is going to fade. Because he is coming in hot. They've been married for like 12 days, and he just babied this and babied that, and he damn near in love now. But if it comes fast, it'll leave faster. And I feel like he thinks that that's what's going to happen. Anyway. They get to Nikki and Sean, and Nikki tells the group that Sean always frames her as the problem. Sean said when they were out with Mecca and Belle, he said he wanted his wife to live he wanted to provide a soft life for his wife. And if she's ever anxious, he wants to ease that anxiety. And then Nikki decided to respond by saying, "You're calling me anxious? I am bold and I am confident." That gives Nikki. That gives Nikki. Being anxious is not something that you have to have all the time. You can be just anxious about a situation, about a test result, about anything. So it's not a personality all the time. Mecca stepped in and he told Nikki that she needs to take accountability because she was attacking Sean, and he was there. She tells them about him calling her crazy at the airport. We already settled this. And Sean was like, he was just quoting something that she said. That's what he said the last time, because we've already settled this. Devin told them both, y'all got too much ego. It's too much ego going on, and y'all need to leave that behind. While Devin's trying to help give his, 2 little cents, and Sean gets on that phone. Sean started checking his emails and replying to text messages, honey, because he didn't have time. Devin was dropping some wisdom, though. He really was, and he was holding them both accountable. At this point, Sean isn't saying anything, and the experts think it's because he's embarrassed after Nikki made some comment about him being short. But I personally did not think that she was saying he was short, because she said that when they were at the airport, he said, "Now you're towering over me," and she like, "How am I towering over anybody at 5'5"? Saying like she was 5'5", and her standing up and towering over anybody. I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong. Adam said maybe y'all should just call it. I was like, Adam, stop now. You acting like that outfit, like the drunk uncle. But he right though. He's absolutely right. This is not gonna work because they don't want it to work. You gotta want it to work. Like Sean constantly saying stuff about Nikki. He can clearly tell that she's triggered anytime somebody mentions her name. So just leave it alone. And then Nikki, knowing that Sean speaks his mind, she decides to be offended by everything. Sean said I'm sorry, before he said anything, Courtney was like, "Well, can Sean talk?" Courtney, shut up. But she right, though. Like, Nikki just kept going. Sean said he's a committed man. He committed to this, and that's why he hasn't called it yet. Courtney and Nick are headed to their Uber, and he's trying to open a door for her, but he ends up stepping on her foot because she don't know how to stand to the side and let a man be a man. As soon as they get in the car, he was like, "Can we revisit this confidence conversation?" See, Courtney, you see how he waited till y'all were alone in the car, in the back seat, before he brought it up instead of blurting it out to the entire group? Take note. She said, "Well, maybe it was foul of me to say, maybe I used the wrong word." She basically said, they're good. The men are good looking and they aren't used to rejection, whereas she's used to rejection, or she gets rejected all the time. He was like, "I've been rejected plenty of times." Honestly, y'all, I don't even know what this conversation is about. I feel like she's projecting. I feel like she's the one that's not confident. Anyway, Nikki and Sean are standing outside, and she tells him that she's not confident that she can get past this. And she said, he presented her in the worst way, and then he doubled down on things that he was saying about her, and he mischaracterized her. Everything is about her. And he agreed. He was like, "I've been insensitive to your feelings. That wasn't good enough." She said, "Well, why didn't it come out at dinner?" "Because you didn't let him talk, for one. But why are you so worried about what these other people got to say about you or think about you?" Sean was like, "Look, I don't want any more fights." She was like, "Fighting is our flavor of marriage." I said, "Oh, now I heard of the flavor of love. I ain't never heard of the flavor of marriage." He said, "I will not be fighting with you anymore. I promise. Just trust me." She was like, "Trust you?" At this point, you're just trying to make an argument. Nikki says, he has issues and she doesn't know if she has the capacity to help him with them. That man said, "Then why don't you just leave?" Now, Nikki done made me side with Sean. And why don't you just leave? If you so unhappy, he's so incompetent, and he is like the worst husband ever, why not just leave? When they get to she goes back to the shared apartment and starts packing. And when he gets there, he expresses that he does not want her to leave. He wants to have a friendly conversation. She's like, well, I want to have no conversation. I need a break from all of this. This apartment is feeling too small. At this point, it's not even funny no more. I just want them off the show. I think she leaves, and I hope she stays gone because this is it's too much. This episode was a lot. The dinner was a lot. What did you think about it? Let me know down below.